is Algebra 1, Lesson 5.6, the standard form of a linear equation. Our goals are to write equations in standard form, use them to model real-life situations, beginning on page 308. One definition to begin, what is a standard form? AX plus BY is equal to C. A, B, and C represent numbers, real numbers, in fact, and A and B are not both zero, because if they were both zero, you wouldn't have an equation going on at all. So standard form right here, AX plus BY, something times X plus something times Y equals C. Um, it doesn't say in here that there are no partial numbers or no fractions. But when you're dealing with standard form, you don't want to show any partial numbers. You want whole numbers, what we consider rational numbers. Example number 1 is writing a linear equation. It says write the standard form of an equation passing through the point negative 3, 2 with a slope of negative 4. So it gives you a point and a slope. Now we've learned two forms of an equation before today. We've learned slope-intercept form and we've learned point-slope form. So since they give us a point and a slope, we should do that one. So the point slope form is y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. That's just point slope form. From there, sub n, m, which is negative 4 right here, m goes right there. And then x sub 1 and y sub 1 are the opposites of what it says. Remember, y is this one here, 2. We have negative 2 here. And x is this one here. Here, we have negative, it's going to be minus a negative 3. If you have negative 4 times x plus 3 right there, don't change it. That's what it winds up being on the next line. That's what I told you about. Sometimes they have an extra blank in here for stuff that we don't typically write in. But this is point slope form. Y minus 2 equals negative 4 times x plus 3. To finish making it into standard form, you follow similar steps to what we did to make it from standard to, from point slope to slope-intercept form. You distribute negative 4 right here times x and times 3. You get negative 4x minus 12. And then instead of moving the minus 2 over from the left to the right by adding 2, you want to move over the constant term and you want to bring the x term over. So we got more than just the negative 2 to move over. So notice right here, add 4x and 2 to each side. Both things are happening at the same time. This is moving here by adding 2. So when you add 2 to its like term, negative 12, right there you get negative 10. And this is moving to the same side as y. It's negative or minus 4x. You add 4x to both sides. You can't add 4x to y because they're not like terms. So it's simply 4x plus y is equal to negative 10. And that says ax plus by is equal to c. Therefore, that is considered standard form. All you're doing right now is rewriting these equations to make them say ax plus by is equal to c. On the back, write this equation, negative 5x plus 11 is equal to 1/2 y in standard form with integer coefficients. So it specifies right here. Get rid of the fractions. Take about 45 seconds on that one. Anytime you're doing standard form, the very first thing you want to do is eliminate fractions. So we have negative 5x plus 11 is equal to 1/2 times y. That says 1/2 times y, or that says divide by 2. We know how to undo divide by 2. We multiply this by 2. But remember, in order to make your equation balance, you have to multiply everything by 2, not just 1/2 y. So this needs to multiply by 2, and this does as well. 2 times negative 5x is negative 10x. 2 times 11 is plus 22. And then this cancels out this and leaves you with 1y. Okay. So ask yourself the question at this point. Does this say, not that, does this say ax plus by equals c? No. We got some stuff we got to move over. We want to move c over to the right by itself, and we want to move by over to the left to make it on the same side as ax. So if we want to do that, we need to do the opposite or the inverse of what they say. Remember, this, we want to bring it over to this side. It was positive on the right. If I bring it over to the left, what does it become? Negative. So negative y instead of positive y. And this right here is positive 22. If we want to bring it to the other side, what do we want it to be? Negative 22. Negative 10x doesn't move. It can stay right there. Negative 10x minus y is equal to negative 22. Does it say ax plus by equals c now? Yes or no? Y'all seemed very confident about it a second ago when I asked. Is ax and by right next to each other? Or are they right next to each other? Is c on the other side by itself? So that is considered standard form. Now, what some of you may have done, since I talked about it a little while ago, is you may have made a positive, which is probably a better idea. This right here, though, according to this textbook, and again, in different textbooks, it says different things, this is standard form. There's no fractions, and ax comes before by, and c's over there on the other side by itself. Now, if you made them both positive, then 10x would have gone to the other side, or negative 10x would have gone to the other side and became positive 10x. Negative y would have gone to the other side and became positive y. And negative 22 would have gone to the other side and became positive 22. So this is the same equation, believe it or not, when everything moves over, when the left shifts to the right and the right shifts to the left. Let's try this other one. Write this equation that goes through negative 5, 1 with a slope of 3/4. Again, get rid of the fraction. Put it in with only integers, only numbers you consider as whole numbers. Take about a minute on this one. You're given a point and you're given a slope. Logically you should write it in point slope form then. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. M goes here, 3/4. Y sub 1 goes here, the opposite, negative 1. x sub 1, the opposite goes here, positive 5. So if it just asks you for point slope form, our lesson from last week, you'd stopped here. This is not just asking for point slope form, though. It asks you to write in standard form, ax plus by is equal to c. Standard form does not have fractions. We have a fraction in this equation. So the first thing, if the number 5 were a number that you can easily multiply by 3/4 and get that, you'd be fine. But since you can't, it's beneficial, or it's easier at this point to get rid of divide by 4. If you undo that, you undo it by multiplying it by 4. That'll cancel it out. But you have to multiply everything else in the equation, this and this, by 4 as well. The reason we don't multiply it by x plus 5 is because we're already multiplying it by that, by doing that. So 4 times y is 4y. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. This cancels out this, and we have equals 3 times x plus 5. So what we did was we eliminated divide by 4 on the whole thing. We still do not have standard form, though. We still don't have ax plus by equals c. In order to get that, we need to distribute 3 times x and 3 times 5. Again, look at this equation and determine, does it say ax plus by equals c? No, clearly it does not. In order to make it say that, we can bring 3x over from the right side to the left side. There's no x's over there on the left. So positive 3, when it comes over to the left, it's going to become negative 3x. And we can move over negative 4 from the left to the right. Now it says negative 4. So you undo it by adding 4 or plus 4. If you do it to the left, do it to the right. 15 plus 4 is 19. So 3x is gone. 19 is the only thing on the left, on the right-hand side. And 4y, this, everybody, the parts people get stuck on, the parts I see students get stuck on, is they can do all of that work, and then they forget that there's a positive 4y there, and they'll leave off plus 4y. That one doesn't move. You don't have to manipulate that one at all. Therefore, negative 3x plus 4y equals 19. ax plus by equals c. And again, a's value is negative. If we wanted to move everything over to the other side, you would switch all of the signs, not just negative 3x. You would say positive 3x minus 4y equals negative 19. You would change the sign of every term in the equation. Example number 2 is horizontal and vertical lines. These are real simple. Write the standard form of an equation of a horizontal line and of a vertical line. The horizontal line with a y coordinate of negative 2, the standard form of the equation would simply be y equals negative 2. Now, we've been exposed to horizontal and vertical lines, and we've done things with them. But when you actually talk about them and you call it standard form, a lot of times it makes more sense to students. Y equals negative 2, because it would say ax plus by is equal to c. In this case, it would say ax plus by equals c. Ax would be 0x plus by plus 1y equals c, negative 2. So there's no reason to write 0 times anything. That's gone. There's no reason to write 1 times anything. You have y equals negative 2. So even though it doesn't say ax plus by, that is standard form. The same thing's true with a vertical line, except you have an x coordinate this time of 4. And again, ax plus by would say 1x plus by would be 0y is equal to 4. There's no reason 0 times anything is 0, and there's no reason to write in a 1 times that. So again, on the back, let's do this first one. Write the standard form of the equation of a horizontal line. Remember what horizontal means. Take about 30 seconds. Again, you got to know what horizontal means. If you get those confused, vertical versus horizontal, think about looking out on a horizon. As you're looking out on a horizon, line goes that way. So that's the line you're looking at. If you look at that mathematically on a graph, it looks like that. So you're looking for where it's crossing through the y value. The y value in this case is -5, so y is -5. Do the same thing. We'll do about only 20 seconds on this next one. Of the vertical line that goes through -2, -7. What does the equation say? And again, the vertical line, unlike the horizontal line that's going across, the vertical line is going this way, this way. So you're looking for the value right there where it crosses through the x-axis. This is your x. X is -2. That's horizontal and vertical lines. X is -2. Checkpoint problems. Write the standard form of the equation. A line that passes through the given point has the given slope. It gives you a point and a slope. We're writing standard form. Y minus y sub 1 is m times x minus x sub 1. M goes here, -3. Y sub 1 goes here. Opposite of that, -5. X sub 1 goes here. Opposite of this, -2. That is point slope form, not standard form. Undo that to make standard form by distributing. This times this is -3x. This times this is +6 is equal to y minus 5. We were making slope-intercept form. We would simply move over the -5 by adding it. We're not. Move the -5 over by adding it, and you do it here. It's 11 on this side, and bring the -3x over. It becomes +3x plus y equals 11. Standard form.